Very less.
Hey, welcome back, folks. This is House Corrections and Institutions Committee. It's Thursday, March 19th. We're here to continue our discussion on the capital bill and the markup. We have some folks here from BGS, and one thing that we would like to have a quick little update on before we get back to the money piece in the spreadsheet is where we are. It's changed at all since the beginning of the year on replacing the women's facility. And we have the deputy commissioner with us. So welcome, Emily, if you could identify yourself for the record.
Emily Kosicki, Deputy Commissioner of DPS for the record. The committee may recall we shared that we needed to pivot away from our plans to site on state-owned land in Essex for a variety of reasons, site challenges as well as some local zoning constraints. And so we then worked with DOC, the new commissioner Murad, about what our next steps would be. We analyzed various options for existing state land, which had some limitations for utilization. And the approach that we landed on and currently are pursuing is we put out an RFP, which is active right now, for doing a land search through an RFP process where we identified specifically that we were looking for land that would be suitable for correctional facility use. So again, that is live right now.
How many acres do you need? 20 something, was it?
Yeah.
And where did the RFP went out statewide? Or was it specific just to the northwest part of the state or?
Statewide with preference for Chittenden County.
And when is the RFP due back?
It's got a total. Responses are due March 25th.
Next week.
So again, we have done some outreach just to invite or to share that we have this active. And again, we'll see what we get.
And you have currently, is it 14, 16 million? Something around there, right? About 14 million that we've put aside over the years. And a new facility would be over 100 million. 120.
Depends on the design works, but that is.
And all the options and moving pieces that you do with the current facility. Might renovate the current for something else. Might do something somewhere. We do a lot of options. So that's where we are on that one. So that's a big ticket item coming. We have to balance that. You allergic to it?
No, but maybe the dust in this one.
What's the expense? That's the expense. How are we gonna fund it?
So I just want folks to keep that in the back of our minds. So by the end of the session, we would have some feel for how many bids you got back, how many options might be out there, right?
Yeah, we have this sense of how many options we got through that process. We did do a little bit of an informal land search on our own, just seeing what was out there through our own property management process a few months ago. But again, what we got was a lot of sites that weren't necessarily suitable for a correctional facility.
So when you say suitable for a correctional facility, are you looking at sites that are zoned that would accept something like that already? Zoned?
Ideally, that is what we would find, but some of the responses, some of what we found in our land search through a broker, it was just next to a use that was clearly unsuitable.
But it needs water and sewer and
Yeah.
power. Yeah. So let's go back to the top of this and see where we are, because there was some questions maybe that folks have. May have changed after some testimony that was in. I can't find my papers. It's kind of give up. The first thing that we kind of were unsure what we were gonna do was planning and reuse. Line two, spreadsheet. We were kind of thinking maybe to cut those back, but we've kept it at 250. That was one thing. The other piece is fiscal enhancements statewide. We were looking at cutting that by 100,000. You said page 2. Top of page 1.
Section two.
Line 2.
Thank
Line 2 and line 3. So we've had new testimony. BJS was feeling that if we cut either one of those, it really puts them in a tight place, particularly the contingency piece. And also fiscal security items are coming in more expensive. There's getting to be more requests and Expose battery. So where are we, folks?
I'll back off on that one. I know those my,
So which one?
line 2. It seems wildly
Yeah.
unpopular. So that's right.
The fiscal security. We had testimony yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, folks.
And everything I heard on that one, it sounded like
They need it.
it'll be spent, you know, like.
We should both be.
They said if they don't have enough. And they have to backfill, they have to do it for feed through space, which impacts your general.
Would suggest we reverse both of those and keep the money there.
Yeah,
So.
I agree with Mary.
So that brings for fiscal security. There is an additional 225 in cash. To the 250.
Yeah.
You're supportive of that, everybody? Yes?
Yes.
Yep. So then the next one is the 3-acre parcel compliance.
We'll hold on to that.
Yeah, I think BGS was gonna go back.
And give them language so that they don't have to pay any fines.
Well, the commissioner was gonna go back and take a look at that, because we looked at this and we wanna make sure that those that have a permit, and that is Middlesex, St. Albans Correctional Facility, and the Pittsford Fire Training. The permit's in place and out to bid in February this year. So once that permit gets in place, that's when the clock starts ticking for 5 years. So for those 3 projects, it's about 2.1.
They need to get them
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
Now, we also heard testimony on Pittsburgh that if the range is extended, then that's gonna have an impact on the stormwater plan. So that, I don't think, so that project, I think, is kind of it.
Well, we have to decide, do we want to put firing range in there?
But even if you do, you don't know,
We don't know what it's gonna do because it's only design.
because we heard testimony that they want it to be longer. And we also heard testimony that if they do that, that it changes it would have to change the stormwater plans.
That it could.
That it
They
could.
didn't, yeah, they didn't say it was a, I thought, yeah, that's
Just,
so far out.
What is Pittsburgh under? Well, that's not under BGS, that is not under safety.
Line 8.
Let's stop it. You're gonna run the committee next time. It's because you don't have everything else flying through your brain.
it's not that you're not right, Tate.
It's 200,000 in bonded dollars. That's only for design. It's not for the project construction. It's only for design. This came from the governance committee. This was their priority.
I'm fine with leaving that in. It sounds
Mhm.
like they,
You're fine with
yeah, they're fine with leaving it in. They need the documents, and then they're gonna make the bigger ask in the next capital bill.
You were ready to take it out a few
I
days ago.
was, because I just wanted to start putting money into projects that were gonna get out the door, but they can't even get us a number to ask for without these.
But to that point, I think you can look at it again, but I think you could trim line item 4 a little bit and not repeat this year.
Well, we wanted to cut it,
3 million,
no, what it was.
1.5.
1.5.
We were at two.
Keep it at 1.1.
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure we get those 3 projects. The Newport, the permit. I think it's about a year old. But that's all tied in with the work of the boiler. And then the Waterbury complex, the permits in the works. And for Jens, they have a permit, but it's on hold due to the sidewalk on the state piece, and the city wants us to maintain that, so we're still gonna work through that. Capitol complex is on hold. Department of Labor, because that's all connected to FEMA. So they have to date 5.8 million they have to date. And if we cut them back by 1.5,
44.3.
Yeah.
3.
Sounds like plenty.
I think that's
That's
great.
more than enough.
So then, and what would that look like? The strike the 1.1 for FY 27 and strike 400 for 26, or does it just not matter?
No, I think you're.
Yeah, that's what we were doing.
Okay,
Zeroing out bonded
27.
27, and then the FY 26 bonded will be 1.1.
Yes.
So we're still there?
Yes.
Lisa Bloomer.
I think you can't do anything to that. They're like, that's, they need to be able to put that rubber roof on there, that it's like, it's gotta happen, or that it's. Or
Yeah, but when's it gonna happen?
Wanda's gonna be down there with her, bucket.
I think they're saying they're doing it now.
They are,
With
Yeah.
the bucket.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
they're bucketing it now, which is like,
Now,
Just
We're under
nothing.
contract.
good, that's great,
It's under contract.
to get fixed.
Well, that was important to know, because
Bucket brigade.
they were going right forward.
Lisa Bloomer, moving on.
So it's the roof that's under contract.
That's what you said the other day, right?
We needed to hear that word under contract.
So then that kicks into multimodal. That's 900,000.
Again,
They do
they
it.
need that too.
It's a priority item, and the 900. Then we'll make sure that we get to which,
Yep.
Okay.
so for the Asa Boomer one, backtrack, is any of that gonna also be able to do the sewer upgrade, or is it total for the roof? Well, what I'm seeing here is roof and skylight replacement only, so that's what I'm kind of wondering. Are you gonna be able to do any sewer work with that?
In progress.
That's in progress, okay.
That was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
But it's still.
it's all part of this, it's all part of this picture here.
It's not listed up top.
It is on the spreadsheet.
Okay,
Line 6 shows.
thank you.
My understanding is that this is to go towards the roof element because we had the sewer portion based on the funding we had available. I know that's in work, caused some disruption for tenants of the building. As it's progressing, and then the roof part being put on hold based on our available funding. And as a result, it's continued to deteriorate.
So this whole chart here includes the sewer and the roof.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull up that.
Just want to make sure for folks. And the 3.6 gets you completion to the roof. With whatever money is left over from doing the sewer.
I feel like that's what Joe said the other day, but started questioning us.
I've got finish on both those lines.
Right, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and I have a note that you were gonna come back with a sewer cost. So are we thinking, Emily, or not?
No, I'm pulling it up and I'm thinking, like, my understanding is that's to get us to the sewer and roof.
Yeah, that's all I want to make sure, it's just completed for both of those projects.
That is my understanding.
But I want to make sure. Okay. Multimodal, we said okay,
Mhm.
and 120 State Street. Became battling, kicking and screaming and fighting. They want their 2 million back. They've reallocated in the back. They have reallocated.
Close to that.
Yeah, they've reallocated over 3 million.
What?
They just, the way they do it is they do it to
No, I
the
know,
project,
but
we do it to the
people
bottom line. So they reallocated 525,000 from bonded dollars, and from cash, they reallocated 2.5 million. So 2.5 was for this 3 million. They've reallocated from previous appropriations for 126.
But they've got to know where they've put it or where they're having their project.
Let's put it, it's to our bottom line.
Well, I understand that, Alice, but again, we were doing a deeper dive this year to ask questions as to where things were specifically going. That's all I'm asking.
So they probably are putting some of that the reallocations, this is 2 million in bonded for FY 27. So if they're reallocating 3 million, you could say that 3 million that's freed up, 2 of that could go to the 2 million. Wouldn't even go to that because we only had $500,000. I know what Mary is saying, but in reality, when we reallocate, it goes to the bottom line that there's dollars
I
available.
understand that, Alice. I've been in this committee long
Right,
enough.
but I know some other folks are questioning.
Right, but I'm saying this year we said we wanted to a little bit more of a connection as to, because otherwise you can continue to stir the pot of where you're going, and then we'll find out the next year it wasn't necessarily used in that manner. I'm just trying to shore it up a bit. So if we can find money, we can find it. That's all.
So where are folks for that 2 million that we were ready to zero out?
Yeah, I kind of keep coming back to the clarifying question I asked Joe, I think it was yesterday, about what was the intent? And the intent was to pause that program. And again, I want to clarify, I have all the confidence in BGS and their, the detail with which they come into this room. I'm worried about FEMA. I'm worried about federal. But I understand that this project has to go through. I just don't want to come back next year, if I come back next year and see that we've got $2 million unspent. Because we haven't moved, at all on that project.
Yeah.
So that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
So I trust BGS, but again, I feel the same way. If it's sitting there, I could have used it, possibly to something to you can.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for you, but that's where my head is right now.
The folks,
Well, I gotta say, I don't understand it because you're telling, it says here that they reallocated it. What's that? Is it
that's from
like,
previous appropriation.
all right, so, but there's still
They have.
2 million
Correct. That
that
was-
we could in bonded dollars, right? That we could scratch back.
We could. Now, last year, we didn't put any in because we knew that they were still trying to figure out.
Correct.
Okay, because we knew that they had three million, at least $3 million already in hand.
Mhm.
So they had some opportunity to move forward. It's tied up a little bit with the capital complex, the flooding with FEMA. But they're
Yep.
trying to figure out, do they do it? The whole heating system, a standalone within 120? Or do they do 120 and then have a separate building with all the mechanicals for the capital complex? And that is all going to be determined through the working through of FEMA for that. So if you have a specific building in the complex for the mechanicals, that's going to impact a little bit in terms of what you do for replacing all of the issues within 120 State Street.
Yep.
If you don't do that and you take care of the mechanicals in each individual building in the Capitol complex, well, then you're gonna do 120 State Street a little different. Be more on its own. But they can't really move forward until they know what's happening with FEMA to the Capitol complex.
Can we cut it in half to $1 million?
To $1 million.
Yeah,
I'd rather have the two.
That was a
I would
suggestion.
rather have the two, but I'll go for one if that's all. right.
That's my thing, like, we can only go by feelings, and I hate saying that, but I feel like whoever's sitting here next year is going to be looking at the line, seeing that there's 2 million less.
Yeah,
I don't believe that it's going to move forward. Doesn't mean I'm right, but that's my feeling. I think a lot of us feel that way based on what we put. So I don't have a problem with cutting some or all of it and reallocating some.
Could we be half right and be $1 million?
So let's put in $1 million.
Yeah.
This will be the first walkthrough. We get a spreadsheet and we see where we are. Okay. 32 Cherry. I think this completes the project. Completes the project in spring of 27, so we're in the FY 27.
Keep it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then.
I'm working on that dam language, and I just got a call back here, so
Which language?
the dam study.
Oh, the dam language.
That was reasonable.
Amendment to your bill.
People get punchy in here. But that's not language.
Do we have to?
That's not case.
Keep it hanging a little bit. It's gonna take a while for people to get back.
Okay.
HVAC system. That is a big increase there. Not that I want to stop it.
What line are you at? What's-
It's
Is it 20?
much time to you to me coming back. He says I could use a few more minutes.
All right. Have a little trouble too.
I just want to get through. I want to get through. I want to
Oh,
get through
this is his
DCF use facility. I want to do door controls. and
Section
stuff. So
3.
I would say half an hour.
Yeah, with section 3, I don't think we had that many things that were,
Hang on, I can't do 5 things.
Okay. Give me a sec.
Take faster, aren't you?
Okay. So I'm just wondering if we're really looking for money and it would be, well, it's a split between bonded and cash. But the HVAC system, I don't want to cut them, but on the other hand, there's a lot of money here that's being increased. On the bonded piece, there is 8.4 million additional bonded
Correct.
dollars from what we put in FY 27.
Mhm.
And there's an additional 1,050,000 cash for a total of 9.4 million extra dollars.
Money, great Tracy.
And I don't want to stop it because I know that they're expensive.
Yeah.
But I just am concerned with the time frame and maybe BGS could come back maybe with a little bit more of a breakdown in terms of what your plan is. I know Springfield and Newport, that's a given to get done. For full, I'm concerned about the full. You're gonna do some conference rooms and some of the little. Yeah, that's Springfield and Newport, I think, or is it just Springfield? Springfield, Newport, and then that's gonna be up and running this summer, and then the full facility for Springfield will be done first. And that will be up and running next year during the summer, because you'll finish it more during the winter. And then you're also gonna start Newport. And you want, the designs are done, from what I'm understanding, and you want to pre-order the equipment. Because the equipment takes quite a bit of time, and then you have to get a construction manager on site. So I want to break down in terms of how much it's gonna cost to do Springfield, the temporary part, as well as the full amount, and the same for Newport. I want the total cost of what you're seeing there. And then if there's time, and I don't think you're gonna get started on the St. Johnsbury Regional Facility. That one, you're only doing temporary on the St. Johnsbury.
St. Johnsbury.
That's Northeast Regional. Is that the work camp, or is that also the facility itself?
So temporary. And then we are, permanent. Targeting this way.
To be targeting what? Next biennium. So I just want to break down of the temporary for those three, what the cost is going to be. And then for Southern and Northern. Yes. Yes. TCU beat Ohio State.
You've been under too much stress.
Are we doing announcements?
Yes, very happy.
Too much,
No, they
Wow.
were the underdog.
really.
To beat Ohio State.
That's huge.
Now they're gonna go up probably against Duke.
Beat Duke too.
Jesus. Anyway, so I want that breakdown. And also, you're only gonna do Southern and Newport. Those are under contract, and what you could get started on Northeast Regional.
Those are your third thing.
I want more defined numbers on that. There's a lot of money here. And I don't want to stop them, because I know they're expensive. How much is Springfield to do completely? 6-8 million? It's not cheap. So I want to get more information on that one. And because that's a lot of money there. And then I want to go to door controls. 2.7 million cash in door controls. And then if you look on lines 23 and 24, we have got 4.1 going for door controls. They're gonna complete St. J, and then whatever is left over, that 3.6, they're gonna go and start road. That's my understanding.
I like that in my notes.
So what are folks thinking on the door control thing? It's a tremendous amount of money. A separate line item.
I had us talk, weren't we talking about taking 2 million off of it?
Yes,
Okay.
You still there to take 2 million and keep 7?
I am.
Then the other thinking was trying to organize this differently on the bridge.
Right.
Where are you going to? 23, 24, and 27?
You're correct, Scott.
John Gray told us not to do that.
No, he said he couldn't even pay some people. For the record, Scott, Ward Joint Fiscal Office. On the one hand, yes, we can put them together on a spreadsheet, perfectly fine. But you just had a discussion about HVAC and wanting to have more detail. So I worry about putting them together and then having less detail.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to do whatever. And to John's point about the fact that section 19, the cash, it's a different section for line 27.
Yeah,
So rolling it together,
it's gonna be a problem.
it's weird.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
When you're rolling together the HVAC,
So it's
cash and
really,
bond,
I'm happy to present this however you'd like. So what?
How would it look being less confusing, in your opinion?
For me, you're gonna have one big block with all the words instead of 2 medium blocks with all the words. Monetarily, add things together, it's not gonna be hard to do.
Right.
It will shift all the line numbering, which will be confusing if you're looking at this sheet, line 50 is now next sheet's line 49. Or I can just skip a number, it's not hard. Mechanically, none of this is hard, it's just a matter of being precise so we don't get confused for the future.
why don't you keep 27 and really indicate it's not statewide door controls, that it's DOC facility
Sure.
door controls?
And that terminology comes from the gov rec, so I didn't make up that, but I can add
I know,
door controls
I
there.
know. Well, I think they had extra money of cash and they just threw it there.
So we're gonna take 2 million from
That's my
that.
thinking,
Mhm.
but I'll very be corrected on that.
20, we're gonna take 2 million.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
That's cash. Newport Correctional, the boiler. Ugh, that one just keeps going round and round and round.
Gift that keeps giving.
They gotta move the ponds, because that's 3 acres. Then they have to figure out where they're putting in the road.
Yeah.
And then they gotta figure out the boiler and what other piece was working, There was something else working up there that, what was it? There was, come on, folks, there was something else that Joe mentioned that would play into this a little bit.
Are you talking about the truck?
The electric,
But
moving the
There's an
electric,
Yeah,
moving the
and,
electric out to the street.
yeah, and depending on where he puts the pole,
Yeah, I thought there was another project at play.
one other project altogether.
There's something that was gonna play into this indirectly. And
Hold on, let me,
there's something else. that was gonna play- I said I would for it.
Isn't the one that they have to move the road for the trucks to bring the
Hey.
fuel?
That's not part of the boiler.
Yeah,
Well, the sprinkler system.
and they move the holding ponds.
Yeah, but was there
Okay.
something with the sprinkler system that was gonna happen there?
So that's in line 26, the sprinkler system.
Yeah,
Something with the sprinkler system? that-
not to do with the boiler.
Well, it's Newport, they.
Yeah, but dealing with, getting,
There wasn't enough space in
there
the.
was something with space, there was something with space and how to read something.
He did mention that.
And I'm trying to think what it was.
sprinkler system upgrades. That's line 20,
Right.
line 26.
Something with that, so there was another thing. and we-
I have a note to keep 500,000 in.
Just cut it out, can't be that important.
Yeah.
And then,
Bad.
So,
hold on,
The only thing I'm thinking that might be for the boiler is the room. The
the
redesign
boiler?
for the trucks.
that's what I've got too,
Yeah.
running into
Yeah.
issues with developing the site for semi-deliveries in proximity to wetlands.
And we have an issue with like the
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna
Working
move
with
the ponds,
CPC for that, but I think it's really about the access to the trucks to look at the chunk.
Yeah,
And moving stormwaters is not currently in this pricing.
Right.
Stormwater's moving is not in this pricing.
No, that's.
We got basketball.
So what do we want to do here with the boiler? The boiler, they have with this 2 million in cash. They will have 5.1 million.
Plenty for them to play with.
We have bonded in FY five, we had 3.5. We've only expended 341,000.
Part of it is they're buying the plan is to pre-buy the boilers, right, so they can be constructed, and then it needs to be airlifted into the building that it's gonna reside in.
So,
He said air.
He said air.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's cheap. That's got like a bargain right now.
What's reality?
so right now, what I heard about the stormwater pond move, what I have here in the note is the cost is not in the 5.1 million, but they'll know in a couple of weeks or months. It's still the
Yes.
case, right?
That's what I've got as well.
And that's supposed to happen this summer or fall.
And I think-
So where would the cost, if you have to move that stormwater, you have the permit, you don't have the permits for that, right?
Communicating with DEC.
Right, you don't have the permits.
I've got in my notes, may not finish this year, given how this all needs to be resolved. And then moving the stormwater costs, not currently in this pricing. Running into issues with developing the site for semi-deliveries in proximity to the wetlands and retaining ponds.
Can we cut at least 1.1?
But they didn't he say the other day that, maybe I'm wrong, this year things, but can't really put the boiler in until they've done the bonds?
Right, they
Right.
can't do anything
Right.
until they figure out about the ponds, 'cause they have to
Because that's gonna
redesign the road.
Road and
So
semi.
you figure out where the ponds are going, so you gotta redesign the road. Before, you know, even if you can
Yeah.
build them.
You know, they're flying the boiler in.
They don't even know.
No, but we were talking about the road before the boiler. We fly it in and down the road.
Still gonna be doing
Yeah,
it.
it's deliveries of the trucks
Hello?
with the wood chip. The wood chip.
Which will be cleaner and less expensive.
But it's the wood chip boiler, so you have to have the trucks to deliver the wood chips.
So you can't put the cart before the horse, so you gotta know that you can get chips into the building.
Or have to go with number two, right? Those,
Yeah, but that's what they're gonna have to shift to anyway, because they have chunk wood right now.
So Madam Chair, you saying need to take more?
I don't know if he should even take any. Should we take more? Mary suggested cut it 1 million. There's 2 million here. Cut it 1 million.
Yes. Well, for at least
You know
500,000.
what we could do? I mean, if we cut that, that's 3 million. If we do the Wi-Fi. And we do it DOC section. They have the ability to move money around within that section.
Correct.
Might be the cleanest way to
Should
do
they
it.
move between section 2 and 3 though? Because we're in section 3 right now.
BGS can move within their section. This would be considered more, the money is the money for something like this, Emily, going to you folks, or is it going to Agency of Human Services? You guys are doing the work.
Awesome.
But, yeah, so why the Wi-Fi? I'm sorry.
So would BGS be able to move money between projects in section 3, or is that up to the Agency of Human Services?
I don't think we.
I have, you two have the repo. And in there, we did contemplate giving BGS creating statute to give them flexibility for if they're in charge of a project that they could do.
Yeah, But they wouldn't be in charge of the Wi-Fi, I don't believe.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, if this is a problem, moving between, the agency and DCF. If BGF is in control, we might want to consider that. Okay.
Well, let's keep that in the back of our minds, but people supportive of cutting $1 million from the boiler?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the DCF thing, I really don't know what to do on that. I've got, I just don't know.
I want to see the
I
language
want to see
that
the language.
considering, but I do not, I'm very interested in not stalling, any potential for a new stabilization facility.
It's been long enough.
Yeah, but there's gotta be a plan, and I'm not saying take the money and stall it. I'm saying
Yeah.
there's gotta be a plan, because you can't have 3 in one building and a couple over
Yeah.
here and there. We've gotta have a plan in place. So DCF has to do
I
their
agree.
job as well.
Yeah, I want to see the language.
Solid-
Okay, I've got
solid
the
good.
language, but I want to ship it off. I don't want to get going on this right now. It's gonna be too complicated for folks, but, okay. Make sure I get the right 416. On or before August and through end of December, they need to report to Joint Justice Oversight, the Agency of Human Services in consultation with DCF and BGS. Report to Justice Oversight on its plan to develop the Green Mountain Youth Campus, including its progress on a complete, unambiguous written analysis of the estimated cost of an annual operating budget for full utilization. The proposed 41-bed high-end system of care, because that's your bigger picture of which is 14 beds in it. Then in FY 27, DCF and BGS shall not expend funds for further development of the Green Mountain Youth Campus unless and until the chairs of the House appropriates institutions, healthcare, and human services and Senate committees on appropriates health and welfare and institution approve the written analysis in subsection A of this section.
Is that new language?
That's what's being proposed to be put in appropriations, and that's what I wanted to take a look at. And my goal was not to hurt the FY 27 700,000, but the thinking is if we can do this language, that by the end of our session, we will know what the operating costs are, and then the money would be released. We'll talk. I don't want to, but that's kind of the thinking right now, but I want BGS to take a look at it. Okay. So I would keep right now that 700 plus right in there. Now. Okay, that's what I wanted to go through because we kind of have picked up other things, so that keeps Scott's time.
I'm sure just to clarify, on line 28, the board of the impact besides cut the road.
A million.
Yeah, we talked $1.5 million.
A million. So James is gonna be up. Give the report to conference committee.
Yep.
So tomorrow morning, we need to be here by 8:30. We have an amendment percolating. Good old Connor,
Bring it, bring it.
bring it on. By Ann Donahue and Brian Chena
Oh, okay.
to allow on the working group to work with DOC to figure out about the telecommunications to have current or. Also add victim while we're there.
Might as well.
Well, I was talking about this with Brian Chena. and he didn't bring this in, McGuire did. We're the committee of jurisdiction for correction, which includes the incarcerated. And I fully on board with making sure victims have a voice. But I don't know if I need a victim voice as it determines whether or not we're giving incarcerated more access or better access to tele.
Don't want them connecting the victims.
I know that we can protect, yeah.
You are already.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
we're gonna have call lists. Yeah, absolutely. That's where I am on that, but I guess if we added victims or a victims advocate group, that's not gonna be a deal breaker by any means. But it's already a very robust list.
So for new folks, you haven't been through this before. So when a bill comes out of our committee, and then there's a floor amendment to be offered, we weigh in on that amendment. So the sponsors of the amendment need to come before us tomorrow morning at 8:30, because we're on the floor at 9:30. And they will walk us through the amendment. And we work with them, we talk with them, what's your intent, we ask questions, the whole 9 yards. And then we have to decide, are we supportive of the amendment? Would we like some changes to them to do the amendment? Or are we not supportive of the amendment? And then that's action that we're gonna have to take tomorrow. We're gonna have a vote. And then Connor will then have to relay on the floor after they propose their amendment on the floor what the committee results were on that, what the committee vote was on, whether we favor that or not favor it. So we'll have to meet tomorrow morning at 8:30 to go through that amendment.
Sometimes it kills a bill.
Yeah, sometimes
We need to
pretty
do
good
it at
bills.
8:30, but we gotta do it at 8:30. I know there's other meetings going on. I'm gonna be having a meeting at some point with Amy Sheldon, Mark McCauley, Ledge Council John Gray, and Michael O'Grady about the DEC. They have some real concerns about that language
Yeah.
and how it's gonna impact the current priority list. The municipalities are already in the hopper to receive state money for sewer projects.
Yeah.
So we'll have a new spreadsheet tomorrow. We're not doing it now.
I'm happy to work on it tonight and get it to tonight, but if tomorrow morning works for you, I'll
It may be later in the morning, because we got stuff on the floor.
let it work.
And I know John is going all over the place. We're not gonna have language, I don't believe tomorrow. This is too much in the hopper, but I want to get Forest and Parks in here tomorrow. If possible, to go over some language that they want.
They said they're eligible.
They're unavailable totally, even for 10 minutes.
The commissioner is, yes.
Is there anyone that could come in and talk about it? Because we're getting the bill out. They need to know what's
They
going on.
want the language.
That's the problem is, I think they're meeting on the issue on Tuesday. They want to wait till after.
Well, we need to have some heads up on what they're looking for, because this is new to the committee. And we can put on, what you can say is this is new to the committee, we have to put it in the capital bill. So we need the overall discussion of what the issue is. And then we can finalize the language after they meet with the parties on Tuesday.
Sure.
So that's what I would phrase it. So the committee can at least come up to speed for some of it. And I'm gonna clean my desk.
I mean, but TCU, so.
And do. Basically. So tomorrow, 8:30, and then, but be prepared to work in the afternoon. I don't want to work late, but we need to put in some hours tomorrow afternoon. Because we gotta get this puppy out beginning of next week. Okay,
Yep.
let's go on the floor, let's go off